Hi, welcome to this SQL tutorial video, and today I'm going to do a short video on how we can limit our data with multiple conditions of the same column. So let's look at this as an example. I've got my data from my offices table here. Let's imagine I want to get all offices that are in Office MN01 and all people rather that are in Office MI01. Now I can do that just by writing my conditions here where I'm going to give it an alias. So where office equals, and a neat trick actually, if I select a cell and then I grab it and drag it, I can take the text from that cell and put it into the SQL window above. So I can say where the office is MN01 or the office equals, and I can drag that one up as well. Now, when it comes to doing this little drag and drop, you can't just click and drag because that will highlight cells. What you've got to do is you select your cell and then you select it again and hold it and drag it, and that will copy it up to the window above. So now I've got this office equals MN01 or office equals MI01, and I run that. It will show me the information that I want to see. However, if I then wanted to say, the office is IT01, not IT01, LN01 rather, we're now getting more people here, but I'm writing more and more lines of text. And as the more offices that I need, the more text I've got to write. So what SQL allows you to do, instead of doing the OR clause over and over again, if you're dealing with the same column and you're not dealing with any wildcards or anything, you're dealing with the complete value within that column, you can, instead of doing the OR, so I'm going to comment that out, you can do something called an IN. So instead of using equals, you use IN. And what IN allows you to do is a list, a set of values, and the SQL will say, okay, where this office is in one of these values in this range. So if I just put in MI01, if I run that, I get the values that I got before. And if I were to add another LN01, then we get that as well. Now that's quite good. That works quite nicely. So now let's think about, let's imagine instead we want to look at all the people who are in the offices that are active. So if I just do a select star from my offices table, and I've got an office active flag, so I can see where my offices are active. So if I run that, I've got three. Randomly, the three that I've selected here are the active offices that I'm interested in. So right now, then I'm getting the data I want to see. So if I've got an office here, an active office, I can put it in this list and it will show me the active offices. That's good. Now, imagine if I add now a new office. So I'm going to just go to this window here and I'm going to create a new office. And I'm going to create a new person in the office using the SQL that I've pre-prepared. So now if I do this, I've got a new office, the York office. And if I want to now add that to my employees in active offices list, I've got to add that to my SQL, which is fine, and there it is here. But what would be better, I think, is if we can have the SQL automatically update itself. So this here, this is what we're interested in. This list here, these four offices, and there they are listed here. So if I were to change this SQL and just get the office code, this list is what we're interested in. Yeah, and this is a list. This is a list of values. And this in statement here wants a list of values in here. So what you can do, instead of having that hard-coded text, because really in SQL you shouldn't have anything that's hard-coded, if we copy that SQL that produces that list, if we cut that and put it within the brackets where we had the hard-coded values before, I'm just going to move those across a bit. If I now run that, we get the same values that we were getting with the hard-coded list. There's our Y01. If I were to run the select by itself within the brackets, there's our list. And if I run the whole thing, there's the list filtered on the result of the select in the brackets. Now, if I go back to here, and maybe I add another one, we will add a new office. So we've got a second office in York now. It doesn't matter what the details are particularly. So we've now got a new office at Y02 and a new person in Y02. So if I just run these two pieces of SQL, now if I run this inner select, we should now get 5 results. There it is, the Y02. And if I run the complete select, we now have our extra value. So we aren't changing anything here. We aren't modifying this SQL in any way. The SQL itself is checking the values in the tables and providing the data based on the data in the tables. And that's what you want. You shouldn't be hard coding anything. One thing to note, the results in here have got to be a single value. It's got to be a single list here. So what I couldn't do is I couldn't put the office name, say. So if I just run that as a piece of SQL, that will work fine. But if I try and run it as a whole, it will fall over. And it falls over. I don't know whether you can see that quite, but what it says is the subquery, i.e. the query within the brackets, the subquery must only return a single value. So I'm going to remove that again now and make sure that we're only getting a single value. And that makes sense. What we're saying here is the office value in our employees table, this here, is in this list. So we can't return more than one value. There's the office code and it runs as it should. I hope that made sense. That's the end of this video. Hopefully it was helpful to you. Thanks a lot for your time. See you next time.